welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Keisha, and today I am just going to show you two simple tricks in how I make my jersey dress pattern bigger. I'm going to do it bigger, and you just apply the same principle to get it smaller. And stick around stick around and you will see how I do that. And you'll be seeing more of my DIYs in my sewing. I'll be bringing it more to you, possibly on a weekly basis, and hope that you enjoy. So come along and let me show you. Let me jump right into it. So here you have it. So firstly, you want to print off your pattern, and then you want to have your paper with some of your notes, and you're gonna have your tape to stick the pattern together, a scissors, a marker to make the adjustments, and you need to have some pattern paper here as well. Okay guys, so here you have it. I would have gone ahead and I would have laid out my pattern. So here you see they're numbered numerically. So you have
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 is a sleeve, and 11 is a pocket. So altogether it has the pattern.
Make up 11 pages. Okay, so now I'm going to stick my pattern together, and I'm gonna come right back, show you. Sometimes you buy a commercial pattern and you don't always get your exact fit. So sometimes it is required that you do some minor adjustments. Sometimes you are in between sizes. I get that. Sometimes you're in between sizes. So therefore, once you're in between sizes, you must, and I repeat, you must do some manipulation in order for you to get that correct fit. Take my pattern in segments, okay? So now I'm going to attach the entire pattern, stick the entire pattern together, making sure that I line up everything. I'm making sure that I line up everything. Okay, and I go ahead and I continue to stick this until I'm done. Makes it much easier. Oops. At the joints. And then I'll just reinforce, because you don't want it to. Okay guys, so there you have it. So I already stick my sleeve pattern together, and I'm not going to cut out anything just yet. And I have my pocket pattern and my jersey pattern all stick and ready. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to adjust this pattern. So I'm going to adjust it bigger, using a bigger measurement. If you're smaller, you apply the same principle in order to get this pattern adjusted. Alright, two simple tricks in order to get this pattern adjusted. Bearing in mind, you need to make sure to take your measurement. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, you're going to find the midpoint between your shoulders. Whatever your shoulder length is, you're going to find the midpoint. So in this case it's 5, and I'm going to find the midpoint, which is 2.5. From that point, I'm going to now draw a vertical line of 9 inches. So that would be your bust length. So there are basic ways, there are standard measurements. If you have a bust above a certain bust size, you use a certain bust length. So because in this case, this person has a bust of 44 inches. So I'm going to use 9 inches. You can use 10 as well. The longer the bust, at least you have more room. But you want to use, I'm going to use in this case 9 inches. So from that midpoint, I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to measure down 9 inches. I'm going to put a mark, and then I'm going to draw a horizontal line. I'm going to draw a horizontal line. Okay, so now that I've drawn in my horizontal line, you see that now I have drawn in my horizontal line. On this line, I am going to now find depending on how many E's you want. So in this case, this person bust is 44, and I'm also going to use quarter of that, which is 11, and now I'm going to add 1.5 towards that. So so that makes it 11 plus 1.5. So it now leaves me with 12.5. So on this line, I'm going to measure 12.5 inches out. So it brings me to this line. Okay, so the person has 11 busts plus 1.5. So you now have 12.5 inch. And you just connect that. You just connect that line. Okay, so now that you would have had your bust width, you're now going to reshape your armhole. Okay, using this guide, this original armhole shape, you're now going to reshape your armhole. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can eyeball it and just try to shape it in to that new line. Okay, get in that curve, and then from this point now, you are going to know the person's hip is 44, and we're going to take quarter of that because this is a quarter pattern. So we're going to take quarter of that 44, which would give you 11, and you're going to add some added E's to it. I add an extra 1.5, and that gives me 12.5. So on this line, I'm going to measure 12.5 inches, right, which is here on this hip line here. Okay, and now you're just going to connect from a straight line from your armhole all the way down. So for me, if it is that your hip and your bust is around the same size, let's say your hip and your bust is around the same size, you just make that connection. You just connect that line vertically and make this your new line. Okay, so that way you will have added room. All right, and remember, you still need to put in your 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay, or if it's jersey knit, so you can use 1/4 inch seam allowance in this case, and you just continue to do this, and you just join back your hemming like so. Okay, this is your new hem here, right? You just connect that, and this will now be your new pattern. So here we would have made the jersey. Here we would have, let me show you. Here, so this now becomes your new, you would have dropped your armhole here. Okay, so this was your new, your old armhole, right? This was your old armhole, so you would have extended your armhole, okay, because of your bust length. All right, so you would have drawn a line all the way down here for your bust length. All right, and then you do your bust circumference, okay, and then you find 1/4 plus some E's, which in this case it was 12.5, and then you will just join back your armhole. The solid line is your back neck, and the thinner line is your front neckline. And again, your front neckline, you can manipulate it however low you want it. But I say cut it out first. Cut out your 2 pieces first, and then, as stated in my previous video, and you adjust your neckline how you want it. One thing to note as well, after you would have cut out your pattern, okay, like I just did, you have to make sure that your sleeve, so you go ahead and you measure your armhole, you measure the armhole, okay, take your time and you go around the curve with your inch tape and you measure that. right? So this is 11, and you make sure and you measure the same, you measure the size onto your sleeve. Okay, take your time and you measure this. Okay, right, so this is 10.5. so it's a stretch material. So what you can do, if it's too small, all you just need to do, add an extra 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, depending on how much you need it to be. If you want, you can incorporate your hemline and then you just add back your hemline, if you understand. So like this case, this would be 1/2 inch extra. So once I measure this entire arm sleeve, it will be 11 inches. So at least we know that it can fit, and it's jersey material, so therefore it will be the perfect fit. You can just stretch it in to fit into the, ease it in, as we say. Set in the sleeve. Okay, so go ahead, I'm going to cut this out and I'm coming back. If you want to trace it out, you can trace it out. If not, you can. And again, if let's say that this is if your waist is bigger than 40, as I said, you can manipulate this pattern to fit any size. All you just have to do, adjust your bust length. Once you adjust your bust length of your sleeve, your armhole will automatically get bigger. Okay, and again, make sure that you measure out your hip, whatever your hip is. Let's say if your hip is 50, you find 1/4 of 50, which is 12.5, and you add your extra ease and you do the same, and you just connect your armhole towards that. Yeah, and that's how I normally manipulate my pattern to fit, or that's how you can manipulate. That's one of my way I use to manipulate my pattern. Okay, so there you have it, guys. So that's how I normally manipulate this jersey dress pattern to fit any size. And as I said, you can use the guideline to make it smaller or make it however bigger you want. Yeah, so if you think that this video was of use to you, let me know. You can leave a comment below and let me know what I can do to help. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I do appreciate your time stopping by. And don't forget to press that notification bell, so every time I upload a video, you'll be first to be notified. Bye.